have planned for the DVDs, but
Yeah.
really quickly, is there like a 1 minute description you can give a guy who's walking into a bar of how he should look? You know, is there a visual description that you can kind of describe just to leave him with of like saying when he walks into a bar tonight, walk this way or something that, you know, I know obviously on a DVD it's a lot easier to show than to tell, but
Yeah.
just for a guy to sort of kind of get it in his mind right now what it
Yeah.
looks like.
Okay. So step one, if you use the that kind of neutral position that I was telling you about. So being centered. It's hard to really accept the strength of just being calm and relaxed and open. When we enter a room, we have a tendency to look around. I'll try and give some practical tips here. So when we have a tendency to look around in order to assess the danger that's in a new environment. One thing that I always teach guys is don't do this. If you are going to look with your eyes, because in a dark club it's hard to see someone really looking with their eyes unless we're really, really focusing on their face. And what that shows is that you're from the get-go, because people, when someone enters a new room, we also tend to look to assess as well. So you use this to your advantage. So when I enter, I never look around with my head, so no one can actually see me looking around, scanning the room. If I am going to look, I use my full peripheral vision and my eyes, and I'm always completely open, so no barriers in front of my body, and with just a light, playful smile on my face, which just says, I'm going to have fun tonight. I like to mess with people. So whenever I go out, I'm out there to have fun, to play, to tease, to meet new people. And that kind of, it's like a mischievous little smile is on my face when I walk in. Walk a little bit slower than you feel is natural, because 9 times out of 10, that is a good speed. We always go faster than we actually think we are. So just imagining that you're walking through mud when you enter the venue. Just a playful little smile. Don't look around. Just go and open the first set that you see. And that's usually a good way to actually start. I don't know if that paint does that paint an image for you then?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think you described it quite well, and it definitely gives guys listening something to sort of strive for immediately, because that's what I like.
Yeah.
Whenever, you know, obviously speed of implementation is really key. So when somebody hears something, I want them to be able to immediately kind of get a visualization so they can start building momentum. Now I am curious, what else, you want to just talk a little bit about sort of what you go into further on the DVDs, because I'm fascinated by the topic of body language and sort of like that sub-communication you're sending out, because I actually had said it to Cajun on the phone the other day that I had been playing a game the other night. I was out with my girlfriend, and we both just looked around the room, and we were giving like either a thumbs up or thumbs down on whether or not a guy gets laid. We were just making like a snap decision by looking at him and being like, do you think he gets laid? And what was funny is that me and her both were pretty much spot on, there's no way of knowing if the guy got laid, but our two decisions pretty much matched up on almost every guy, and it really had nothing to do with how good looking physically the guy was, that most of us were making our decisions. So I am really, really think that body language is hugely important, so I am quite curious what else is going to be on this DVD, and if you want to just give a quick, description of what you're going to be talking about and stuff, I think the listeners will be real excited by it.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Well, I go into obviously depth about the exercises to do in order to neutralize and gain control of your body, because that's the thing. Most guys, like I do this, we talk about sensory acuity, which is developing the sensory awareness of what your body is doing at any time, at any one point in time. And most guys don't know. So when we talk about, people talk about gestures and twitches and things, and unless you develop your sensory acuity, you will never know that you're tapping your foot, or that you're twitching or that you've got the beer shield up, and it becomes a massive effort to try and correct your body language. So the first stage is to I show them how to get awareness of that. We go through signals, we go through the things that women recognize, eye contact, which is a huge one. I talk about the kind of advanced techniques in eye contact and how to communicate to particular sides of the brain and whatnot. What else? I give examples of and demonstrate how to communicate with your body. So being like spatial awareness, and there's a lot of stuff on there. Basically, the seminar, we set out to do a 5-hour seminar, and it ended up being a 10-hour seminar with bonuses out the arse. And we go through beliefs, we go through physical escalation, like 5.0s on there, talking through the whole physical progression model and demonstrating things on one of our female friends as well. So it's crazy. Keychains on there doing rapid physical escalation and day game as well. And that's whole DVDs on that as well. What else do? I do beliefs, so how to uproot the negative beliefs and stuff like that. Obviously, one of the, hugely important thing, a lot of guys don't understand that voice tonality is part of body language as well. Body language is basically anything outside of the words that you say. So I do voice, how to turn, how to really gain control of your voice and how to open up your pitch range, how to strengthen your voice so that you don't lose it in the club, techniques in order to be heard in the club. Just the whole spectrum, really. Our aim was when we set out, was to make it, to make the Beyond Words DVD the last DVD that you'll ever have to buy on body language and physical escalation. And I think that we achieved that with what we put in there. It's just jam packed.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys cover the whole spectrum, and obviously body language is meant for being seen on a DVD. It's really the only way you can really get a full effect is to watch it and see it, and then follow all the practice and all the exercises that you guys give, because it's a habit that if you work at it and you spend the time, it really it not only affects your ability to attract women, it affects a lot of areas of your life. It affects your ability to make friends, to make money, to climb up the corporate ladder. It shows a self-confidence about you that goes way beyond just meeting more women, and it's definitely something that is worth learning and worth working on.
Yeah, I definitely second that. And it just, it's just one of them things that when you have good body language and when you can communicate strength, people like to be around strength. We know where we stand with strength. And so it is something that just says, it just draws people into you effortlessly, without them knowing anything about you. So if one of my ex-students was saying, if you don't have an optimized way of learning body language or an optimized program for learning body language in your game, it's the equivalent of having no game. and it is true. You can have all the verbal game out the wazoo, but if you don't have the kind of tonality behind it, if you don't have the body language and you're giving off negative signals, then you're gonna get, you're not going to be getting the results that other people get with those same lines.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think that we definitely gave the guys listening enough to get started and probably pique their curiosity about the upcoming DVDs. And I'm going to make sure when this interview's released that I get them a link where they can go check it out and learn more about the DVDs and see exactly what it's like. And I appreciate you coming on here today and talking about this. It was a great conversation, and I myself learned a lot.
It's been a pleasure, man. I've heard awesome stuff obviously about you and what you've been doing. So yeah, it's just an absolute pleasure, man. Thanks for having me on there.
Definitely, man. And maybe I'll see you when you come back to the States next time. Yeah,
I'll be over soon. What city are you in?
I'm right outside of New York City, but I might be at the Super Conference this year in Vegas if you happen to be there. So.
Yeah, I'll be in New York in probably July as well. I've got to meet an agent over there. And then, yeah, Vegas as well, which is going to be ridiculous. So, yeah, well, I hope to see you at some point this year then.
Cool, man. Looking forward to it. Once again, I
Yeah,
appreciate you taking the time to do this today.
brilliant, man. All right, I'll speak to you soon. Thanks
Yeah,
a
have
lot.
a good one, Vercetti. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.